What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 3 of where I go over all of my trades and explain in detail why I enter and exit every single play and my entire thought process through the entire trade, right? So without further ado, let's get right into it and go over these 3 trades that I made today on a very choppy sort of day overall. So number 1, as the day even began, right before it even began, overall the market was green. So that meant that there was going to be strength overall in the market if we just took it from that standpoint. And as a day trader and a scalper, you look to see where the strength is in the market pre-market, right? So the market had some strength. So we were going to lean long for most of the things if we saw strength, right? And currently, the SPY did close green, but we saw tons of weakness going into the morning. So my first trade was a SPY put, and I posted that at 9:37 a.m. You can see right here, I posted at 9:37 a.m. The buy price, everything, right? All right, so now this is the minute chart of the SPY, right? So I posted the trade at 9:37 a.m. And if we look at what was going on into the morning, we skyrocketed up. And then we just began to really fall heavily, right? For the first few minutes of the day, right? So a huge downward move, right? And now we begin creating a bear flag formation right here, right? And bear flags are extremely bearish technical patterns. So I saw that that was happening on the SPY. I saw that even regardless of this huge downward move, right, the RSI still did not become oversold yet. And that was a big warning sign to me. The fact that we plunged into the morning, but the RSI still did not go into oversold territory, meaning that there was still more potential room to the downside. So I saw that we were consolidating. I saw that we couldn't break above any key levels of resistance. So what that meant to me was there was a lot of momentum built up that needed to be released the downside, right? So at 9:37 a.m., I went, and you can see that this level right here, 443.93, was touched multiple times here, right? And at 9:37, I entered the trade. Oh, well, I posted it on Twitter because we crossed below and started to break below 443.93. So very simply, I was following the momentum. I saw that we broke below this level here, and we got a really clean scalp to the downside. If you entered the same minute as I did, the next few minutes, you were still going to be profitable regardless. So what I did was I went and sold it at 9:39 a.m. And you can see right here, I sold it at 9:39 a.m. And right here is essentially, this move right here was that move, right? And then we consolidated a bit more, and then we eventually popped upward, right? But that was like a clean little trade that I was waiting for. I didn't want to go over trade today. I had a few things to do, and I only wanted to share really safe plays. So essentially, that RSI really gave it away to me, personally. And another thing was the MACD was very oversold, but the RSI was not oversold at all. So that was a very big warning sign to me. And then, eventually, as we broke down below, I sold because I then saw the huge weakness in the RSI. It became oversold compared to where it was before. And I took my profits, very quickly started the day off with a nice little play. But things today overall were very difficult to for the trades to be shared because things were moving so quickly. So I shared a few plays during the day on Twitter, but I quickly deleted them because they moved already. Like, they moved way too quickly. And if I just had kept them there, I mean, it would be nice for like documenting my trades, etc. But it wouldn't do you guys any good. So yeah, essentially that was the first trade. So my second trade was a Microsoft call play, and it was similar to what I was just talking about, where it moved too quick for people to really get in. So I only did one such play like this, and I maybe posted like I got into like 5 other trades, and they like really, really worked. It sucked that I couldn't get them posted in time, but yeah, oh well. So I posted this at 9:55 a.m. and I said it needed to hold 303, and I only just posted this to document it because I wanted you guys to see what I was looking at when I did want to enter, right? And I knew, so I posted at 9:55, but I entered it like a minute earlier, and I knew that like it was already moving too quickly, so I just decided to type all of this out. I said, don't take the trade, it's moving too fast, just see why I entered, right? So 9:55 a.m. Let's look at Microsoft at that time. So the reason why I entered Microsoft was because we were very essentially we just made a huge move to the upside, right? And then we fell, but then we found really decent support, and Microsoft was, very strong into the morning. It gapped up. So this was showing a lot of strength, right? So overall, I wanted to play this stock to the upside because it gapped up and it was already showing lots of strength into the open. So what ended up happening was we took a bit of profit and we started dipping a bit, but I wanted to play the bounce to the upside. So the bounce to the upside happened way too quickly. And essentially right here was when I saw that, we started to consolidate after, really pumping and everything was starting to look really good. We came back and retested these support levels down here. And I saw these 2 candles essentially make perfect support. And I said, okay, so this is a 303 level. You can see the low here is 303.09. And I said 303 needed to hold. So I wanted it to essentially just be like a very nice round even number as a stop loss. And that level never came back to get retested. And essentially I entered here, but it was way too quick. By the time I posted it on Twitter, by the time I typed like this trade out, it had already popped. So I quickly, within the minute, took profits. And overall, I mean, what I was looking at was the MACD was oversold. And this was a good opportunity for a bounce because a few minutes ago, we were at these similar levels and it could have been a potential higher low, right? So I saw all of those different things and I took the chance because we had a level of support here. We had a potential uptrend forming. And I, scalped it quickly to the upside. But I was not fast enough to, alert it. So I sold it, the next minute for 152, but I didn't really, bother going too much into detail about it because I figured no one else was able to enter it, right? But that was my logic behind getting in. And as you can see, it really it skyrocketed up, but it started showing way too much weakness. And by the time it showed that weakness, I had already sold. So, and then I didn't really care much to alert, the sell on time because it wasn't, too, it wasn't too it wasn't a huge deal essentially, right? So, yeah, so I posted the sell at 9:57, and yeah, the option price was all out of whack right here, and I bought it, right? And the price that it was up here, it was the same price as it was within this red candle at a much cheaper price on the stock. So the option contract was still the same price as it was falling. So I saw that as a huge warning signal as well. And then the next minute, it essentially popped back up. And, that was essentially when I posted the sell. And it was really it was just a huge warning signal. When there's a huge discrepancy between the option price and the sensitivity of the option price increasing in comparison to the stock price either increasing, then that should be a warning signal that the price of the stock is going to start reversing. So that's really exactly what happened. We started to fall and we fell very heavily, right? So that was that play on Microsoft. My next play was Mara calls, and these would have been a very, very nice play, but I set the stop loss too tight. Because in between this time here, 9:55 to 11:28, I think I had entered 4 different plays, and as I tried to alert each play, all of them worked, but I didn't post them fast enough. So yeah, after this play, I just didn't post any more trades because I was like pretty, I just wanted to let the market handle itself, and I didn't want to like over trade because I had already made so many good trades. I was not trying to over trade anything, right? So Mara, I posted this at 11:28. I was getting into calls. All right, so let's check that out. So at 11:28, I said that I got into Mara calls and it needed to hold 36. Okay, so let's go to why I wanted to trade Mara. So Mara was showing strength because Bitcoin was showing lots of strength today. So Mara and Riot were also, they gapped up, and I was just playing the strength on both of those stocks. So if we go to 11:28, you can see here we made new highs, right? We broke the opening high, whatever, right? And I saw that as a good opportunity to buy something on a dip, right? So I waited for Mara to essentially consolidate, and I posted that I was buying it at 11:28, and I saw that we were, so this is 11:28 essentially right here, this candle, and I saw that we were starting to consolidate, similar to the last few plays, that we were consolidating above levels of support, right? Multiple levels of support here, 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 and here, right? So what I did was I wanted a stop loss at 36. So 36 is down here, right? And we began going upward, but what they did was they knew that people were buying into the options play here, and they wanted to chase after people's stop losses, essentially. So I got stopped out, and the price dropped down to 35.95. And obviously, the play was red. It didn't work out because I sold at 11:31. So obviously I sold as it broke 36, right? But I posted it at 11:31. And then what ended up happening essentially was it ended up making like new highs, and this play would have been a complete banger. This was up, I think, like 50 or 60%, but I got stopped out right here because I set a stop loss at 36, and it fell down 5 cents below 36, and then it started to skyrocket all the way up $1 for the next 20 minutes. But essentially after this play, I just didn't want to overtrade anything else, and I saw that as like an opportunity to just go back and reflect on the other trades, and overall just look at the market as a whole, let things work out. But yeah, I mean, overall, that was a really good trade as well, regardless of whether or not it worked out. The principle behind why I entered was still justified. If we look at the MACD and the RSI, the RSI, start to stagnate. I saw that as a warning signal, but then the MACD was just really, really oversold. So I, figured we would see some sort of a bounce soon. But of course, as we fell sharply, then the RSI really evened out, and things began to be a much better buying opportunity. That's when the MACD began to move up, and that's how the price also began to move up, right? So those were the 3 trades that I made today. Pretty slow day today overall because, lots of chop in the market, and I didn't want to overtrade. So, yeah, there's my analysis on the trades that I made today. I post all of my trades live for free on Twitter, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.